Hey, good morning, folks. Chris Denny here, Denny's Country Life. I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on the new Holland T4020. I've got a little over 50 hours on it. This is a used tractor. This is 50 hours that I put on it. And yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of my opinion on how it's been versus what my initial thoughts of it were. So when I first bought it, I had a couple of concerns, and those turned, well, for the most part, they turned out to not be any bit of a problem at all. So I guess I'll start by saying it's a real nice tractor. It's a pleasure to operate. I really do enjoy using it. So I used it for quite a bit of loader work, spread manure, pulling stumps, and just chores around the place. So I bought this probably a month and a half, I don't know, maybe 2 months after my busy season for making hay. So I haven't, put the baler on it. I haven't done anything like that. I did hook the baler up to it just to cycle it and winterize it so I could get grease through all the bearings and all that. But yeah, I haven't really made this thing grunt yet. Not that the baler is going to do that. So my one complaint, and I talked about this in the video from when I very first bought it, was the loader. The loader function is not as smooth as the Kubota loader. Is it a good loader? I would say it's good. The Kubota had an exceptionally smooth valving setup on it, and this, I'm used to it. I've got quite a bit of hours of doing loader work, but it definitely does not compare to the smoothness of the Kubota. And if this had the self-leveling system on it, I don't think any of that would really be a problem. The biggest issue with it is it doesn't like to curl the bucket and move up and down simultaneously. You really have to screw with it a little bit, find that sweet spot in your valve. It does do it better at higher RPMs. With lower RPMs, let's just say under 1500 RPM, if you go to do the curl function and lower or raise the loader at the same time, you won't even see the bucket move. It's just so, I don't want to say pathetic, but not, it just doesn't work very well at low RPM. So that's going to be interesting next hay season when I'm using the grapple. So we'll see how that goes. I might just have to run the tractor at a higher RPM, which we'll see. I normally, when I had the Kubota, I think I was running somewhere around 12 to 1400 RPM when I was picking up bales. So that's the only negative that I can say about this tractor right now. Aside from the location of the fuel filler. So this is better than on the hood, which every tractor I've had it on the hood. I do like it better than on the hood. Using a 5-gallon gas can here is easier than on the hood, especially with this being a considerably larger frame than the Kubota. That would just be a total pain in the neck. I don't know how well that would go with the loader on there. But this isn't going to be bad at all once I get some fuel in that tank. So not a very big deal. Let's see. The 3-point system, I do like it better than the one on the Kubota. I like it better than any of them that I've had. And this telescopic lower link system is a lot smoother, easier to use than the one on the Kubota. Not that the one on the Kubota was bad, but it had this little latch system that you had to push down and pull out, and this just works better. And this is serviceable. You can pull these off and put a bunch of grease down there. So anyway, I like that. One thing I don't like, and it probably not New Holland's fault, it's probably just the previous owner's fault, this thing is seized up bad. You can see I had to put a pipe wrench on this thing to just to get it to move. The upper part isn't so bad, but the lower part is. And so I do like New Holland's link top link holder. I think that's pretty neat. Crap. Okay guys, where was I? So my wife pulled in the driveway with a horse trailer, and I wasn't expecting her to be home from a ride so early. And yeah, so anyway, where was I? Top link. So the bottom side is frozen, and it's just been a total pain in the neck, and I can't have that, so I'm gonna have to replace that top link. Like I said, I do like this latching system, so I like to stick with the original New Holland top link. I'm not sure what that's gonna run me. Hopefully they don't ding me too bad for it. Anyway, 3-point system on it's real slick. I like it a lot. I like the spring assists on the PTO guard. Anyhow, so as you guys can see, you probably saw in one of my other videos, I got the canopy on there. I like that a lot. I am so happy to have that canopy up there. So this is 48 inch by 60, and it's a little bit wider than most of the fiberglass ones that you find. So anyway, that's not part of the review. So the 4-wheel drive problem that we were having when I first got the tractor, me and my buddy worked on that. That's fixed. I've used the 4-wheel drive a bunch of times, moving around bales out in the mud, and it has yeah, it hasn't missed a beat. So it goes in and it goes out nice and smooth. Let's see. So my two biggest concerns about this when I first got it, here, let's climb up, was the PTO engagement and the shuttle shift location. So I was used to having the shuttle shift up on the column on the Kubota, and the PTO engagement, I can't remember if it was a lever or a knob, but it was right there, and it was convenient for watching what you're doing. One thing I actually really like about this setup, it might be on the opposite side, but you can engage the PTO a lot slower. It starts engaging almost immediately, like right about there, but it starts off real slow. So if you have an implement that requires most of your PTO horsepower, like let's just say, in my case, it's going to be a disc mower, you can start that puppy off real slow, ease into it, where the Kubota, you could, but you didn't have nearly as much control. So that's not so bad, and I really don't mind the location of it. I've ran a few implements on it now, and it just hasn't been a problem. So then the shuttle shift, this isn't so bad. Reaching down, boom, it's only it's maybe about a foot away. It isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll bet you I could almost keep up with somebody that has a shuttle shift on the column, so I don't mind it. And really, the loader work that I do, it's, well, other than when I'm running the hay grapple, every once in a while I do some wood chips. That's once a year. I just put what did I do, 14 or 13 yards of gravel over there, and yeah, it just isn't a problem. I'm happy with it. So sure, it would be nice to have it up here, but you can't have everything when you're on a budget like I am. One thing I do really like is the toolbox. I love this toolbox location. It's convenient, it's out of the way, it makes a good armrest. The cup holder is a little small, but well, whatever, it holds a bottle of water just fine. So all in all, guys, this is a nice tractor. I like it. I'm glad that I bought it and not the that Agco that I was looking at. Having a cab, heat, and AC would be real nice, but honestly, after using this around the property, that tractor just simply would have been too big. And one day when we get more property, which will happen hopefully sometime in the next 2 or 3 years, I can I can find myself a tractor that size, and maybe even keep this one, keep this as a utility tractor and for making small squares, and I can use a larger, like 120 horse, get it without a loader and just the cab, maybe even two-wheel drive, and use that for any sort of tillage that I'm going to need to do, or maybe round baling. I would like to get more cows. Therefore, it would be really nice to run a round bale setup. So yeah, all in all, guys, this is it's a pretty nice little tractor. There isn't a whole lot of space for keeping things. I keep a little bit of PB blaster, and I got like 25 feet of chain back there that's handy. A little sock for wiping off my seat, which I don't necessarily need so much anymore since I have the canopy. But yeah, so my biggest gripe would be the loader, but it's something I can work with. It's not too big of a deal. Yeah, so that's just about it for the New Holland. It's a good rock solid tractor. This is 58 point something, I can't remember, horsepower at the PTO, and so it's enough to do just about everything that I want. I can comfortably run that 6-disc mower that I want to get, and I can run a smaller round baler with it too. So this should do me good for many years. Yeah, I shouldn't have to buy another tractor next year like I've been doing in the past. So the skid steer quick attach fix that I had to do, it has been working beautifully. They are lined up perfect. That is not a problem anymore. It doesn't have the third function on the front. I know I'm repeating myself from the video of when I first got this, but I really think I'm just gonna cough up the money and get that installed probably in 2019. If they end up quoting me too much for it, I might do it myself, or I might just run some longer hydraulic lines out to the loader and make a holder for them so I can just disconnect them for when I do eventually get an implement that requires that that remote. It'd be really nice to have the third function button on the shift knob, so, or not shift knob, but the loader lever. So yeah, all in all, this is a nice tractor. Now, some big news for me is one of the farmers that I did some custom work picking up bales for, he finally got back to me. Him and his partner in the business decided that they want me to build them a straight 8 grapple accumulator setup just like this. So that's a big deal for me. I'm gonna give them a pretty good price because I know them and they're good folks, and they're gonna end up with a real nice piece of equipment, and I'm gonna end up with a little bit of extra income to go towards a third function for the tractor, or more money on the disc mower. So I may end up getting a nicer, newer one than I initially planned on. So one thing that I am going to do on this next one, I'm going to move the locations of these hooks. Again, I'm repeating myself from an older video, but I have quite a few new subscribers. So I am going to move this forward about 6 inches, and I think that should help out a lot. And the other ones, I'm going to make them all equidistant, so they should it should look good, and it should hold just about any size bale that you can kick out of a baler. So it's going to get a lot of improvements. 2.5-inch cylinder instead of a 2, which is going to give you the larger hydraulic lines, more flow, faster action. The bushings, the not Ryertex, but the Delrin bushings, I'm gonna go probably 1/2 inch thick, or 3. I think I might go 1/2 inch thick on those. I want this to last, so I'm gonna offer them a 2-year mechanical failure warranty and lifetime on the welds. So I will be doing probably some multi-pass welds in some places where I did single pass, and it should work out real nice for them. I want them to have a nice piece of equipment, and more than likely I'm going to send it out to get professionally painted or powder coated. So I'm gonna have to get estimates on both of those. I don't want to send them off with a rattle can job like I did here, because that just doesn't seem right for somebody that's paying thousands of dollars for a hay grapple. So anyway, let's see what else I got for an update. So I ended up, just like every other farm channel on YouTube, I got myself some ox beam lights. So this is their 12-inch spot in the center, floods on the outside, and I'm gonna put this right down the center of the front of the canopy. So it's gonna mount right there and shine down that way. And I got 2 floods, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have the floods kind of angle out that way, and I'll still have my work light to shine down the center. So that should light up the night pretty dang good. I don't do a ton of night work, but when you do use your tractor and it's dark, man, it's nice to have that extra lighting. So I got some ox beams to put up, and I'm debating on whether or not to put a stereo up there. They make some pretty cool cab mount stereos that I can just fabricate a bracket to go across the top and have a couple speakers blasting down, so I have a little bit of company while I'm out there in the field. But anyway, guys, hey, I hit 1,000 subscribers not too long ago, a few days ago, and how cool is that? That is immensely cool. I never thought I'd get there, and it happened a lot sooner than I thought. There are some channels that get there within a matter of months. For me, it took a little over 2 years, but I'm okay with that. It's a milestone that I'm very proud of, and I wanted to thank all you guys for coming along and hanging out with me, seeing what I do, and you know, I made some pretty good friends, established some good, healthy relationships over the past 2 years, and that never would have happened if I hadn't have done this YouTube thing. So I'm very grateful. I feel blessed, and thank you guys all for hanging out with me. Let's let these chicken box out. Come on, box. So yeah, life is good here on the little hobby farm. Again, thank you guys. Hope you all have a good day. Take good care, and we'll catch you on the next video.